Whoops! I think I just made a mistake, huh? Just put you on screen. You there? I can't hear you.
I'm here. Are we live?
Are we live? Yeah, we're live.
Right.
Sorry, guys. You caught me in a little bit of a snafu to begin the show here. That's what happens when I bring Bub's Comics on. I get all tripped out in my head, No, I'm just kidding. What's up, Bubs? Good to see you. We're going to skip the normal intro. This is Original Art Hour, and my guest is Bub's Comics. I can't wait to see your art collection, buddy. Like, this is going to be fun. Thanks for being on the show. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, man. So wait, are we missing the intro? What's the intro?
Oh, the intro is usually I just come on and I go, welcome to Comic Books NYC. You're watching Original Art Hour. This is the show that we do this and this and this. And this week, there you go. But I hit the wrong button. So what are you going to do? Oh, maybe I should just sell you my channel right now. Just
I don't know, but I'm really digging the way that you've got me set up with the art.
Oh, right. right above. Oh, I see what you're doing.
Sorry.
Sponsor alert. What's going on here? All right. Well, you know what? I didn't even notice that. I was like, because last time I had George on, and our channel names were right underneath our windows, and I was like, but it was getting cut off, so I moved it down, right? But then I didn't really imagine where you would be underneath that Bud Root image behind you. So that's pretty good. I think that worked out to my benefit right there. I like it. All right, so we got a whole bunch of people here in the chat showing up. What's up? Magic Lasso is here. What's up, Lasso? Take the Time Collectibles is in the house. Thank you for being here always. He promotes the show almost every week on Instagram. I really appreciate that. Comic Mag Musings is in the house. What's up, Mag Musings? D-Runk Comics is on time. He doesn't need to be recapped. Good to see you, George. I think you're on mute, dude. Oh.
Get back to work, D-Runk.
Mike the Collector. What's going on, Mike? Chris Barrett is here. What's up? He's saying Bubs. All right. Who else is here? Oh, my God. When StreamYard loads 30 of these at the same time, right when you're trying to get caught up. Stay Puff 1983. What's going on, Sean? Unruly Simeon's here. What's up, Unruly? Comic Man Andy's here. What's up, Andy? Cookie Just a Little Podcast is here. What's going on? Bubs put me to work. Oh, nice. Super Russ 9000 is here. Tricky Trapster, what's going on? And Barbarian Kung Fu. He's complaining about wrenches. I'll hook you up with a wrench, bro. At some point, I can't
it's harder on StreamYard.
I can't do it in StreamYard. Yeah. What's up, Thunderhouse Design? Good to see you. Thank you for being here as well. And Bubs Comics is here. What's going on, Bubs?
Hey,
or Bub, should I say?
Welcome to Original Art Hour.
There you go. Wait, can you say it from the beginning real quick? So I can isolate it and just
Yeah, welcome to Original Art Hour. That's Kavi, aka Comic Books NYC. Sit back, relax. Pants are optional for this fine Original Art Hour. Thank you and enjoy.
All right, so I have it now. I got all my promos I need for the rest of this show before once it flames out in about 4 or 5 weeks. Here's JP Budget Collecting. Good to see you guys. So thanks for hanging out, everybody. Thanks for being on the show, Bub. So let's get things off here, man. You got a great comic book collection. You got a great YouTube channel. I love watching your haul videos. You just hit 1,000 subscribers. Congratulations, man. That's awesome.
Thank you.
And I haven't seen your art collection really. You know what I mean? And I think you hit me up about this. I don't remember how many weeks ago. It was a while ago, I think. Earlier on.
It was over a month ago.
Over a month ago, yeah.
You had sent me an Instagram message begging me to come on the show. And I
see how it is.
I've got some art, but I'm really personal about it. And you said, look, I'll do anything. And so, once the check cleared, here I am.
Yeah. All right. So that you heard it right here. That's exactly how it went down. And you're gonna see some living art on the screen right there with that emoji action. So why don't you just from your perspective, talk about your experience with getting artwork.
Yeah. I just original art. Okay. So here, my original art collection is really born out of a dislike of other types of art. So when I get a comic, there's lots of different ways that you can look at a comic, and a lot of people look at it as kind of a piece of just art. Either it's cover art or it's interior art, but a lot of it is disregarding the story, if you will. And other people read, and enjoy the art and the story together. For me, different eras represent different things. So for Golden Age, primarily I'm probably picking up the cover because a lot of the Golden Age stories aren't really that entertaining to an adult or maybe even to a child back then.
Right.
But then some of the Golden Age I do want to flip through. So like anything that has, Matt Baker art in the middle of it, then that's to me a waste to slab that. So I'm always looking for ways. Thanks, Russ. I'm always looking for ways to get Golden Age that I can open and enjoy. So I haven't really slabbed much of my Golden Age collection. So in trying to decide what kind of comic collector I am, a lot of times for the more expensive stuff like Golden Age stuff, you'll come across a lot of prints. Okay, so
Yeah.
Of course a print is an art of various print quality too. I mean, you have a lithograph, you have different things,
Sure.
but I really don't like prints. I just don't like them. And I don't
with you.
prints
I'm
like
with you. I'm with
prints.
you. Yeah.
I mean, like a printed piece of art. I just don't care for them. I think they're a waste of money. When I see someone selling a print at a con for like, $20, and I'm thinking, well, I could get the comic of that for, low grade comic of that for the same price, and I'd rather do that.
Same.
But there's undeniable that some of that artwork is fantastic, and not all of it makes it to a comic cover. I have a couple of prints in my collection, but they're at the time. One of them was later used for a comic cover, and I was mad. But because I put the money on the print, I get them signed because to me that's what prints are for. Is to get them signed by the artist in person, and then that creates a new type of art to me. To have things with signatures gives a greater value to me, especially if I collected the signature myself. So my original art collection started with the idea that I didn't like prints, but I liked comic covers and comic art. And then I wanted to pick up some things that people actually drew that you're not going to see this anywhere else, right? Kind of an exclusive look into the artist's abilities. And I really enjoy that. And it's morphed some since then. I guess we can talk about that in a minute. Let's show some. Can we show some?
Yeah. You're up.
All right.
You're
my first piece of original art, and it might be the first piece that I've ever got, is that right there.
Nice.
From a member of the community, Zlata, right? Man, I call her Zlata so much, I forget what her YouTube channel's name is. Matilda Gothica.
Matilda Gothica.
I hear my wife hollering from the other room. And and she also sent me that and the birthday card.
Nice.
So this was my channel logo. I had a little Funko.
I remember that. Yeah.
Hub back in the day.
Yeah.
And she sent me this as an AOK, with I think a book too, and really just a birthday card. And that was pretty awesome. So this is the first piece of original art that someone drew for me specifically, and so that takes number one prize of my collection. So thank you, Zlata, wherever you may be. She's in Israel, so who knows what time it is now. But that's your turn. That
would require me to do some work. Yeah,
it was like a tennis match, right?
Yeah, maybe.
All right, so I did one, and I volleyed to you, and then you do what you got to do.
All right, so I will show. So since you showed that, and that's community member related, I'll show a community member related thing also. This I picked this up on an art auction that 36 Chambers did. Maybe a few weeks ago, and I was the winning bidder. Like he was drawing it live. You know what I mean? Like. Everything from the pencils to the outline to the coloring. He was doing the whole thing live on video, and then he was taking the bids as the image like progressed, right?
That's cool.
I ended up being the winning bidder. And funny enough, I didn't I wasn't able to stay the whole time, and I left my max bid with Biggie Shack in the chat. So I was a little like, I wonder if he's gonna, wonder if I'm gonna win this. Like, I had to go be on some live stream or something like that. I forget what show it was or what I was doing, but I did ultimately end up winning it. So here's the piece. It's this awesome IG-11 and Mandalorian Mando.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and it came framed and everything. He framed it up. It's just really cool. Like, I'll go close up. But yeah, awesome guns blasting, Mandalorian Star Wars image right there. You signed it in gold. So yeah, I love that piece. And then super quickly, as a 2-for-1, I know this is supposed to be like tennis, but this is another piece he threw in as an AOK, also framed. And it's specifically about COVID-19 and Spider-Man and him sort of being like overwhelmed, I guess, from the virus, which, and the city of New York in the distance. Like, that really, really hit home and was emotional for me when he told me he was AOKing this to me. So he sent both of them at the same time, and I got them this week. So,
wow.
Yeah, dude. This one, I mean, look at that, dude.
Yeah, that's amazing.
It's a very powerful image. So there's 36 Chambers, Howard, his tribute to New York, and his Mando piece. So, yeah, thank you, H, for those, man. I really appreciate it, especially this one. This one really means a lot to me. So, thank you.
Fantastic.
All right, your turn.
My turn. Okay. We'll go for the first piece that I ever requested.
Okay.
And this is by an artist by the name of Mason Easley.
So when you say requested, you commissioned?
I was at a convention.
At a convention, okay.
I was at a convention, and I did something very specific. So there was a man, I'm trying to remember her name. She was an actress on a Doctor Who show, not the actual Doctor Who, but like there was a spinoff show that starred John Barrymore, or whatever.
I've never seen a single episode of Doctor Who in my whole life. I've been told I should by so many people in my life, but I yet to do it. So forgive me, I have no knowledge of it. Sorry,
so the actress, her name was Eve. I can't remember her last name. I hate that. I meant to look it up before.
No worries.
Here. I can't remember her last name, but she was very pretty, and she was the main female on the show. And I was dressed up as a character named Captain Jack at this convention. So I did some cosplay. And so since she was the second character to that character, when I went up to meet her, I had a picture made with her. Okay. So then I took that picture and a blank Doctor Who cover, and I went to an artist in Artist Alley, and I just went by I didn't even look at the artist. I just looked at their art, and I didn't care what the price was. I was just looking for the artist I thought would do the best job. And then I had them to, his name was Mason Easley. I said, let's do it. And so he took the picture and he drew the art on the cover. And when he was done, I took it back and I got the actress to sign it.
Nice.
So that's what this is. So this is Doctor Who #1. And that is me and Eve.
Cool.
The actress, Doctor Who. And I told him to give me the superhero treatment. I said, please don't draw me accurately.
Okay, I know what you mean. Yeah, I probably asked the same thing. I haven't been brave enough or bold enough to put myself into a commission. That's bold. That's taking a risk right there.
Oh yeah, and that lady there, she was very pretty, and that's how she looked, and that's how she was dressed too. So I was like, yes. So got a couple pictures with her, and then had her. Be on the cover, and she absolutely loved the idea. She took pictures with it, put it on all her social media. She just thought it was great. She said she never had anybody do that before. So.
JP says she's spot on with your likeness there. So
yeah, not me, but she is. Yeah, I mean, I said, trim me up a little bit. And so anyway, I had that done. That was at Cincinnati Comic Expo in 2015. So this was the first piece that I ever commissioned, that I ever said, this is what I want specifically. And it was just going to be me and her. And he threw in the police box and the coloring for free. And Mason Easley, he was so good. You'll see him come back up again
Okay.
More original art because I developed a good relationship with him. So
sweet, man. That's a great first piece, man.
Yeah,
Nice.
Love it.
All right, so a whole bunch of people here have joined us in the chat. Thanks everybody for joining. I also see Mr. Gretzky 9966 is in the house. What's going on? And I specifically was sort of waiting for him to show up to show this next thing because it's Archie related. So I have a feeling he would get a kick out of it. So this is my first and only published Archie, or really any Archie art. And it's a published cover from Dan Parent. It's the cover to Betty and Veronica Double Digest issue number 251. And Dan Parent did the pencils and inks on it. And that's the cover.
Wow.
I love it. I mean, it's nothing controversial or raunchy or anything like that. It's just a sweet Betty and Veronica cover with, Dan Parent written all over it, and he signed it. It's got the Archie Comics address and like sort of artboard information up top there. I don't know if that's even visible.
Oh yeah, I see it. Yeah,
Archie Comics. Yep. But yeah, I love that. So I was thrilled to be able to get a deal on this and make this my first Archie original art. I would love to get some original interior Archie pages at some point.
Yeah, good luck.
I know, right? But this is pretty cool, and this will hold that spot in my collection for now. I would show. Thanks, guys. I would show the actual comic book. Thank you, Gretzky. But that's currently lost in the mail with the United States Postal Service, and I have no clue when it's going to get here. Like it's one of like 4 current packages that have been shipped to me from various locations over the last 3 or 4 weeks that have no tracking information and are completely MIA. Like,
wow.
Unruly sent me an AOK that's currently MIA with no tracking updates as well. So it's like, I literally have like 4 different packages that are missing right now with
that's crazy.
COVID and all that crap. Yo, what's up? Bake the Snake is in the house. Yeah, right. Lost in the mail. No way. All the time. But during this pandemic, even worse. It's been brutal. But at least this came and didn't get lost. You know what I mean? So.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I'm happy about that. All right, you're up.
Well, I was just gonna say that's Eve Miles.
Oh, Eve Miles is the name? Okay.
Yeah, Eve Miles, and the show was Torchwood. Yep. So there you go. That's for everybody who's just dying. They just got to know that. You just got to know. So then he was so good. Well, actually, this is a different one. Maybe I don't remember which one I had done next, but so here's another one that I had done. This was a family portrait, and it's absolutely horrible. But I thought it deserved being shown.
Okay.
So this was a Star Trek Green Lantern crossover. So Star Trek Green Lantern, I think #1, and it was a blank sketch cover. And I dropped it off for the guy. Again, I went through. He took a picture of me, my wife, and my son, and said, "Okay, I'll get this done." I stalked his table all day, like I usually do from afar, because you don't want to rush him. You wait until when you get a piece of art done at a convention, you get it to them as early as you can. They usually start on it right away.
Yeah.
And they'll work on it on and off all day, but they never really put it down or away or cover it with anything. Mm-hmm. They're just kind of always picking it up and working on it. So you circle around, or I circle around. I don't engage them directly. I just keep circling and kind of looking. And when I see what I think is my art still being worked on, as long as I see it out, I don't bother them.
Right.
But then once I see it get covered with something or shifted and completely off to the side, then I come in and I'm like, "Hey, where are we at?" And he's like, "Oh, it's done." Perfect. Because I don't want to rush them, because I found if you leave it with them, they'll pick it back up and add some more detail. You're already paying for it.
Yeah, there's definitely a certain etiquette about that. I would say you're totally on point with that.
Yeah. So there's a small tip. Don't rush them, or you'll get a rushed job, and rushed art, unless that's their deal, is probably not going to be real good. But anyway, I didn't even rush this guy. He didn't get me. He didn't get my wife, but he got my son pretty decent. Here is I don't even know. I didn't even take the guy's card out. But anyway, look at this.
Wow. Nice.
So I don't know if I look like I don't know,
Captain
Sue
Andrew
Kirk or something. I don't know what that is, and she was supposed to be a Vulcan. My wife was supposed to be a Vulcan. I hate even saying that because you can't even recognize her there. And whatever. So she was first officer and you didn't even put her ears in. They got my son pretty good. That's actually pretty good. But it's pretty rough. And what's funny is that these two are only 2 years apart. Actually, they're only a year apart. Now, do you think that's the same guy?
No, the one on the left is just so superior. Like
it's crazy. So anyway, there's another piece of original art. I wanted to show it because I want everybody to know, even though the rest of these are going to be awesome, or to me they're awesome, that it doesn't always work out the way you want it to. And it's tough because you're always it's art. So there's no exact rules. There's nothing. You can't say, hey, you got to do that this way, and that's no good. It's like you're not getting a haircut, and they turn you around in the mirror. You're like, take a little more off here. Okay, that's perfect. No, I mean, this is art. You got to let them do their thing. And if you end up not liking it in the end, too bad.
Yeah, dude.
You're still paying for it, and you got a story to tell. That's the way I look at it. So.
Yeah, it happens. I mean, D-Runk had a similar situation last week.
I remember that.
Yeah, it's so it happens. Definitely happens. All right. What should I show next? All right. So I'm gonna show because you showed a sketch cover. I'll just show a sketch cover, I guess, real quickly. So this sketch cover, this is done by not a very well-known artist, but I thought it was a really, really good job on this sketch cover. The artist's name is Alfred Lee. Got this 2 years ago, something like that. It's on an Amazing Spider-Man #1 blank. So this is the cover. Okay.
Oh, cool.
Right. Pretty cool. Lots of detail. A good use of the building the cityscape around the trade dress and the webbing.
That's
and all
a lot
that.
of detail.
Yeah, exactly. There's signature in the corner right there. But what makes this even better is it's a wraparound. So I use one of those clear backing boards, and I got Stan Lee and Black Cat. Stan Lee and Black Cat on the back. So it looks great when it's fully folded out. I kind of want it just fully folded out and framed, but this is as good as I can treat it for now. But I really dig that one. I'm pretty happy.
I would fully fold it out. I'd press it.
Right?
I would press it open.
I know. I considered that. You mean completely off the book?
No. I would open it to the centerfold and then put it in a press.
Oh, and leave it
in a press and let it board out and then frame it.
That's a good idea. I mean, I don't have a press, and I haven't messed around with that personally, but I might give that to a presser or something, possibly. Yeah. I don't know.
We'll have the same person frame it that way, because you won't be once they ship it back. Once you undo that pressing situation, even in a good press with that fold in the middle, it will start to naturally come back. So you got to press it and throw it in a frame right away. Get that pressure on it.
Right. That is a good idea, dude. Very good idea. But yeah, I never even considered that. But I am happy with this. It didn't cost me an arm and a leg.
It should have. It's beautiful.
But I think it was worth that. You know what I mean? From a relatively unknown artist. So pretty awesome.
That's fantastic.
Happy to show that. All right, man. Your turn.
All right. We'll go for something a little bit more traditional. I know everyone's tired of seeing me on a cover. This is a sketch I had done by Bob Mcleod. He asked me, what do you want me to do? And at this point in the convention, I was like, what can you do for this price? So he said, for the lowest price, I can give you pencils and a floating head. Okay. Straight on floating head pencils. I said, I'll take it. And then I gave him the whole cover. He was like, well, it's not going to be very big on this cover. And I was like, that's all right. I'll have somebody else draw something else on the cover, kind of like you would do a sketchbook, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, I'll just have someone else fill it in and a couple more characters put on it. No big deal. So I gave it to him. He was a really, really nice guy. Bob Mcleod, he was a first-rate guy. And this is what he gave me for the lowest price. And when I went to pick it up, I about cried because it was so nice. He gave me a full head, side view, and neck, and it looks really killer.
That looks really good, yeah.
And that's Bob Mcleod's Wolverine. And I love the tapered ears he gave because I don't like when the wings come out wild, So absolutely perfect. I was really, really pleased with it. And I mean, he did that for the lowest price, and he was like, I thought I'd hook you up. He said, I didn't want anybody else drawing on this cover. I said, I appreciate that. So, and he did marker and ink too. So it's just supposed to be a pencil sketch, and he did marker and ink on it.
That's awesome. Love it when
really cool.
when they over deliver. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And just so people know, since I think this is the second one I've shown. So these are Books A Million. If you go to their website, you might be able
Frames?
to get it. I had one near me, but they're frames by Books A Million, and they're made for comics. So
they sell them online.
Yeah, they sell them in like I think a 3-pack. So, and I haven't bought one in a while. So if it's a discontinued product, I apologize. But they do sell these frames in 3-packs online, and they're really just a simple. It's just a simple frame, cardboard. You know, I usually put a backing. I cut a backing board down so that it's acid free, because at that point it wouldn't be. And then the front is just like a really thick acrylic. So nice, it's a simple frame, and it fits a comic perfect. It's meant for a comic, for a modern sized comic. So
there you go. Awesome. Yeah, that's great, man. I love that piece. All right. Here's what I'm gonna do. All right. Next, I every show. So this is I think the 11th episode, and it's like I'm struggling to find things I haven't shown, but here are a couple things I haven't shown. Although I don't think I've shown the other things either. So anyway, whatever. This is Mark Bagley art. So I'm going to show the comic book first. Okay, from what book it's from. It's from this comic book, Ultimate Spider-Man #1. So I could show. I have 3 pages from this comic, original pages, and obviously this is the beginning of one of the longest runs in comic book history between one writer and one artist, Brian Michael Bendis and Mark Bagley. This is the first Ultimate Comics issue, so it's also important for that because it launched the whole Marvel Ultimate Universe, which is kind of hard to believe, but this almost came out 20 years ago.
Wow.
Right? It's been 20 years since this run started. So I'm a big Bagley fan, and I would love to find as many pages from this issue as I possibly can. That's kind of like a goal of mine. I've been able to get 3 so far. Now you got to keep in mind though, about this particular issue, it's the first issue of the run. He doesn't even wear the Spidey suit in this comic, right? So the pages that will be more of a premium in this are like anything where he's like discovering his powers as Peter Parker, or when he's with Mary Jane and whatnot. And those I haven't really been able to track down for a price that I can afford just yet. So the 3 pages that I have are really Norman Osborn pages. Like they're focused on Norman Osborn,
right?
And whatnot. So I'll show. I don't know if you want me to show all 3 at once and do a speed round, but I'll do a speed round with it. But here's the first page. This is Ultimate Spider-Man #1, page 18. You see Mark Bagley signed it in the corner.
Is that J. Jonah, I guess, with the suspenders?
No, it's not. That's Norman Osborn.
Oh, right. Okay.
So just to give it some context, the page before this, page 17, it's Peter Parker and Harry Osborn in the basement of Peter's house, and this is before they went before he got bit by the spider and everything like that, and they're just hanging out in Peter's basement. And Peter's going over some of his father's research about adhesives or whatever. They're kind of foreshadowing that later on he's going to invent the web. You know what I mean? The web shooters. And Harry Osborn basically gets bored, right? And he's like, okay, I'm going to leave, right? So then you flip the page, and this is what you see. You see the outside. You see the Osborn mansion, right? And then you see Harry walking back in through the house, and a little bit more of a close-up to him, and then zoom out. You got Norman Osborn, his father, and then you see him at the door entering his father's office. And he's on the phone, like talking Norman Osborn business jargon about like cigarette companies and ads and whatnot, and just being Norman Osborn, business tycoon. And that's basically how the scene ends, with him basically just, being, a businessman for the most part. So it's nothing action or whatever, but it's definitely some cool Norman Osborn and Harry Osborn interaction. I know Unruly's a big fan of Bagley and this particular series. Yeah, he says love Bagley.
Let me ask you a quick question.
Yeah.
I see that it's signed at the bottom with Bagley's signature, right?
Yes.
So I noticed that a lot of original art pages from comics, a lot of them are not signed.
A lot of them are not signed. A lot of people actually go get these signed at conventions, or art dealers also do that. Whenever they're set up at cons and whatnot. Some of them they do sign. Like it's not consistent. It's not like a requirement necessarily. You know what I mean? But yeah, dude. Yeah, right. That eyeball panel. Look at that. That's a great close up panel. So this is the pre Peter Parker getting bit by the spider page that I have from Ultimate Spider-Man #1. And then these are the two post bit by the spider pages that I have. This is page 25. Okay.
Nice.
So the context for this page, you see there, Ultimate #1, 25. So the context for this panel or for this page is that 4 pages before this, Peter Parker gets bit by the spider. Okay. And then, he deals with what he has to deal with. He ends up on the school bus with Mary Jane. Everybody's concerned for him, all that. But then they cut to this. And it's basically Harry Osborn being told by his guys, or not Harry Osborn, Norman Osborn being told by his guys that Peter Parker had, that one of Harry's friends has been bit, by one of their experiments, basically.
Oh,
right?
Cool.
So that's the context of this page, and it continues. And Unruly's talking about Thibbert. So Art Thibbert is the inker for these. So this page is also signed by Bagley. And he's saying, I wonder if he asked Bagley to sign them. Mine are signed. Which ones do you have, Unruly? I forget, but share in the chat. That's good insight or context. There's the other page that I tracked down, which is the very next page. So it's a sequential. Is this page, and this it's page 26. Okay, so these are side by side, essentially sequential.
Right.
And this page is more Norman Osborn dialogue back and forth between him and his lackeys or whatever at the office. And then the final panel, and it's basically him telling his guys, "No, we got to pay we got to pay for his hospital bill. We got to treat him right." And then in the last panel. And I wish the dialogue was on the page, but it's even 20 years ago modern. They stopped putting the dialogue on the page, but the what he says in that bottom panel is like, we need to keep an eye on the boy, something like that. With like a kind of like a sinistery look, of course. But yeah, and this one Art Thibbert signed over here. So
nice.
So eventually, you're gonna have to take this out and get it signed by Bagley. You know what I mean? Whenever conventions occur again in life.
I love it.
So thank you guys. Appreciate that. Unruly says he's got, let's see, got one with the Ultimates and one with him and the Hobgoblin. Don't remember the issue or the page number. Okay, cool. Thunderhouse says, man, that was definitely Bagley at his best. Feels like he doesn't have those strong lines anymore. Yeah, you might be right about that. I haven't, I liked his work. I liked his work on, what was that book that came out last year that Chip Zdarsky wrote with him? Spider-Man Life Story. Spider-Man Life Story. Yeah.
I thought
it was pretty well drawn, but not as good as this book. Not as good as this book.
I talked to some artists. I think might have been Bob Mcleod, but I've talked to some artists, and I like to kind of ask them, what do you think about inkers? Just because it's always an interesting conversation.
Yeah.
So, but when I see a comment that perhaps that was Bagley at his best and his lines aren't as sharp anymore, it makes me think, I wonder if he's just not working with as good of inkers as he did then, because an inker can really take some of those pencils and
elevate it, dude.
Yes, it puts it in a whole nother stratosphere. And that's So anyway, I just wonder maybe he's not getting the best inkers in the group. I remember talking to an artist, and he said that at the time that he was working, I can't remember who it was right now, but the time he was working at Marvel, he said there were good inkers and there were bad inkers, and most of them were good inkers. Some of them were exceptional, and then there were like 2 that stunk, and they wouldn't fire no matter how much the artists would collectively and individually complain about those inkers, those couple of inkers. Marvel would keep them on the payroll. The editor would keep them in place, and it was considered a punishment if your book was underselling or it was doing poorly. You would get stuck with the bad inker. So they kept them on staff, purposely putting out bad inks just to teach the artists a lesson. So, when you got stuff like that going on, you got to wonder.
Yeah, with any creative field, there's still office politics and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, and hurdles to climb like that from I don't know, just from a corporate standpoint. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even though you're an artist and all that, like, you still got to deal with all the corporate BS.
Yeah.
All right, dude. Back to you.
Yeah. Where am I at? This next one, I'm gonna probably have to take out of the frame.
Okay.
This is from an artist. He's on Instagram. He goes by Super Deluxe, and I say that's how he says it, right? So I've had this for a while. I just saw his work. I had never asked someone. I had never commissioned art before like that. And so this is what he sent me. I said, man, I think that he had done some Wolverine work and showed it. And I said, man, I think your Wolverine is fantastic. A real strong Jim Lee style, but with harder edges. Like Jim Lee can get very rounded on some of his stuff, kind of kid friendly, if you will. And I said, I think you've got a great Jim Lee style. And I think with your hard edges, Wolverine has got to be a great character for you. And it's all in pencil, so you have to look real close. But this is what he gave me.
Oh, dude. I love
Wolverine blank. And he's just tearing into a Sentinel head. And it's just super killer. I love it. I love the 90s style giant arms and veins and the hair he put everywhere and the expression that he gave to the mask and face. Because a lot of times when you'll see, you call an amateur artist, whatever, a less published artist is really all it is. They'll do Wolverine's mask very static. They won't give any facial dimension to the mask. So I love how he really gnarled up that mask and just killed it. And this guy does commission.
I love the teeth, man. Like the growl on his face. Yeah.
And he really filled up every edge of the page. I love that too. You let an artist have it for a while and they'll just keep adding. He said he really liked it. And he said he wasn't sure about it, so he went ahead and threw me in a back cover sketch as well.
Oh, sweet.
So he did a quick little furry face Logan, which I thought was pretty cool with the cigar smoke coming out.
Yeah.
Pretty tough. So
gotta get some clear back. Yeah, I mean, you have that. I mean, I would get that in a clear backing board or something so I could see both sides.
That's awesome. To. It's one of those things where,
I hear you, man. There's so many tasks we need to do as collectors that.
And the room right now looks crazy. Like it's torn apart over this.
Sorry.
Normally
you got a lot of love in the chat. You got a lot of love in the chat for both of those, both sides of that. JP suggesting that you DGC that sucker. So
that's a good idea. Hey, poor George. He probably is ruining the day that he said, yeah, I could do that, because I've got him working on some DGC
I heard that.
For me. And anytime I see him in the chat somewhere, I'm like, hey,
he was in the chat earlier.
Is this what I pay you for, to hang out on YouTube all day? Get to work.
He was in the chat earlier at the beginning of the show, claiming to be on time and not needing a recap, but I haven't seen him since then. So maybe he is. Maybe he's working on your slab right now.
He's a good egg.
He's a good egg.
Yes, I got some work for him, and I'm very excited about what he's doing for me. And that's this is Super Deluxe. It actually goes by Super Deluxe, and I think it's 2 X's at the end. But you can find him on Instagram, and he's absolutely awesome. and just fantastic work. And I was so proud of the work that he's done. I think Reggie has got some stuff from him too. I turned him onto it. He messaged me and he was like, "Man, I saw you this. I saw you show this off. Where'd you get that?" And so he's got a couple things from him.
Awesome.
Just awesome guy. He hasn't been posting as much on Instagram as he used to, but you know how that is. Life is life. So
yeah.
But very cool. Anyway, that's what I got to show.
All right, awesome, dude. All right, so I'll show a sketch cover too. This one, so this is on a blank cover for the X-Men '92 series. So I never actually read that series. I don't know if anybody out there has and knows a ton about it or whatever. But
Nakayama stuff.
Honestly, I don't. Maybe I'm not very familiar with that particular. I think it was a mini series maybe, but anyway.
Yeah, it had a pretty decent run.
Did it? Okay, because I never read it. But I saw this being put up at a charity auction in the community a couple years ago. I think it was on Strictly Comics. Was doing a Hero Initiative auction like several holidays ago, at least 2 years. And this came up, so I decided to bid on this for a good cause, and I won it. The artist's name is Rod Thornton. So I'm not very familiar with his work, but I thought this was a cool, like, big hair Psylocke on the X-Men '92 blank here. I mean, the coloring isn't the greatest, I would say. Like, you kind of have to zoom out for it to make sense with the coloring. But I thought the Psylocke image itself was pretty cool. So grab that and contribute to charity doing it. So. Not much more to it than that. You're on mute. Still on mute.
Sorry. I was typing, so I didn't want anybody to hear that.
No worries.
But I don't have a wrench on your channel. There must be some kind of glitch. So
I'll get you one.
Oh, you're good. I'm putting the Instagram page for.
Oh, okay. You know what? All right. So I got it in the back end chat,
yep.
And I'll post it right here in the main chat. There it is.
Yep. And then if you want to tag that, and then also I'm gonna tag Mason Easley. He's the guy that did the good art of me so far.
The Doctor Who one.
Yeah, the Doctor Who one, not that other guy who did that other art. That was rough. But Mason Easley, fantastic artist, does a lot of great superhero stuff. And his Mandalorian, of course, everybody on Instagram is doing Mandalorian these days, right?
Yeah.
But also his Thundercats. His style goes so well with the Thundercats. It's amazing. Also does a lot of good Psylocke work, and he's a fantastic artist. So check him out too.
Sweet. Is that who you're showing next, or is it going to someone else?
Here's another one by Mason Easley. So what happened was that this guy, I was so happy with how he did me the first time. I was like, well.
Oh, wait. I'm going to have to wait. Say that again. I was so happy with the way he did me the first time.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I was so pleased. He sent me home smiling. And, and
that audio was said. I was walking. You said, Bob, I have it.
So my wife and I went to a convention. I think it might have been Cincinnati. I'm not sure. I think it was Cincinnati. And they had a ball after a costume ball. So we went dressed up. We both dressed up. There's a kind of a sci-fi romance type show that's on Stars, I believe. And it's called Outlander.
Yes, I know Outlander. Yeah.
And so it's like a time traveling, mystical type show, but it's also like a history show. It's weird, but she loves it. And so she dressed up as Claire, the main character in that. And I dressed up as Patch, Wolverine, for which you've seen on Comic Gories.
Yeah.
So anyway, I had a picture taken of each of us separately. And then I sent it to him, and I asked him. I knew he was going to be at the convention, and I asked him to work on it for us as an anniversary present for my wife and I. So this is what he did. And this time I told him he could take the gloves off, but he was kind enough to hide me behind my wife.
Never apologize for that glare, but it's awesome, dude.
Don't apologize for it. It's good stuff. I told him we were going to be going to a dance, so he put a disco ball back there.
Oh, that's cute, man. I love that.
And so that's my wife and I. And he did that off a picture, and it wasn't even a picture of the two of us together. So he put us together like it was a picture of me, and there was a picture of her in her outfit. And
he composited with two different photo references.
Yeah, exactly. And it's totally cool. He did a good job. Very happy with it, and just awesome. Just awesome. And I was teasing him because, again, he did do this one as well. And I was like, man, look how I've aged. You know?
Yeah. No. Those are great next to each other, side by side. Yeah.
Great to have it. And so anyway, very, very cool. And this was an anniversary present from me to my wife. So I really like it. Dude. So this one hangs up in the comic room. That's her treadmill in the background.
Oh yeah, I know.
So she runs that treadmill, and I use it.
Isn't there an exercise bike somewhere back there too?
Yeah, that one's mine. The bike is mine. Yeah. I gotta dust it off when I use it once a year after Thanksgiving.
Right? Yeah.
Like Friday, I get on it for about 20 minutes.
Yeah, race the guilt.
Yeah.
In 15 minutes.
That's Mason Easley. So that's the last Instagram post that I shared. So
nice.
Yep.
What's up, Comics for Thomas? Welcome. So I'll show a sketch cover too then. Here's this is more, I think I got this during this whole quarantine period off of Midtown. They were selling them. This was done by their artist, Ken Haser, but it's a pretty cool Rorschach sketch on this Doomsday Clock 12 blank. Like, love that blank, first of all.
Wow.
Right? Really cool, like.
The yellow, that's amazing.
Like the yellow pops, it's a great blank cover that a lot of artists can probably do some damage on. It came with a COA and all that, Dynamic Forces, but sold through Midtown. But I thought this Rorschach sketch was super cool for like a pre-done sketch that I could just grab off Midtown. And I think it was like $50 or something like that. Wow. So I was like, hell yeah, dude. I mean, that to me, that's worth way more than like a ratio variant. You know what I mean? To pay $50 or whatever to get this Rorschach sketch. I really like it. So, yeah, that's what I want to share next. I don't know if it's even still available. They may still have, other sketches done by this guy. It was like $50 or $60. Yeah. Very, very, very surprising. So maybe probably just because the artist doesn't have name recognition. So that shows you the value you can get with art and sketch covers and stuff, especially.
Absolutely.
But I love that one. All right, back to you, brother.
All right. I only got like a few left. So.
Well, if you want to, we got like 10 to 15 minutes left. So if you want to do two at a time or whatever, however you want to do it.
That works.
Yeah.
This one, that guy, Super Deluxe, right, who is the first one that we posted on the chat. Hey, I showed you that Wolverine he did, and I told him at that time it was fantastic. I said, "Do you do any color work?" And he said he didn't like his coloring. And I said, "Well, I tell you what." I said, "When you work up the nerve to do a piece of colored work, I will buy your first colored work." And he said, "Okay."
Oh, wow.
He hit me up a couple of months later, and he was like, "I think I'm ready to do a colored work." And I'll say, "Tell me the price. I'll pay for it sight unseen and send it to me." And this is what he sent me.
Oh, damn. Dude, that's cool.
So that's some more work by Super Deluxe.
Those are some thick calves right there, dude. There's some
man. I mean, it really gets the feral look of him, too. I love when he's kind of pointed teeth. And he put a tongue in there. I mean, he really, really did it up. And I thought his color work was fantastic. His ink and color.
No, it's pretty good, man.
I mean, that's solid. Good.
What's the size of that? I mean, what is that? So that's a frame or is that a box?
It's a frame. I put it in. It's a box frame.
It's a box frame. Okay.
Yep. So, but yeah, it's pretty big.
Cool, dude. Yeah, it's pretty big.
Love that. I'll show another one. So
you have that on the wall somewhere?
Of course. Like everything I've shown is hanging. It hangs. Everything is hanging on the wall. So I thought he did fantastic on that for somebody.
Yeah. A lot. The guys in the chat like the color work as well. And Comes for Thomas's leg day. That's a good one.
So this one is special to me because I just there's a story behind it, so I got to share it.
Yeah, sure.
This is done by Reggie Byers. Okay. So he's just an artist that was at a convention, I suppose. I don't know that he ever technically did any work for DC, but he was really big in what's the name of that? It's like a Gundam robot.
Is this that Netflix thing?
No, it was back in the day. And I watched it too. What was the name of the Gundam? It was a cartoon.
Old school Gundam cartoons. I mean, not Transformers, right?
No, it was the other one. Oh crap!
I'm not a expert on the robot shows. Honestly,
okay, well, I watched it too, and I just can't
from that period. But maybe somebody in the chat will chime in with that.
It wasn't Voltron. It was I don't know if Gundam's the right word, but they were like planes or jets, and they kind of turned into robots. Not Voltron. You guys are killing me.
I can't even see the Voltron comments yet because I'm looking at StreamYard. But now, now I'm seeing them.
So he did comic work for that, and he was hugely influential in that group. And now he's got like a bunch of other stuff. So I didn't know who it was, but this is Reggie Byers from 1989. And you've seen it on
GoBots? Is it GoBots?
Nope, it wasn't GoBots. Wasn't Beast Wars. Wasn't The Mask.
Jeez,
it was Japanese anime. Robotech.
Robotech. Well, this one I recognize because I remember you posting this to Instagram, and I love that sketch, dude.
Now this was in rough shape.
It's not even really a sketch. That's like a piece, That's like.
This was in rough shape. It was curled up. It was scratched up. I had to do some restoration.
You pressed it, right? Yeah.
The edging. It turned out. I remember I sent you pictures of that edge.
Yeah.
And a couple other people too, and I was wondering what that was. It turns out, from what I can tell, it's actually like glue binding from where it got pulled out of a like glued together sketch pad, So I didn't know who it was. So I start typing in Reggie. I couldn't make out the last name. It's down there. It's got inks by Tim Quicksell. That was easy to read.
That sounds like a total Western character.
Yeah, I know, right? So
Timothy Quicksell.
So I ended up just typing in Reggie comic artist and kept going through. And then finally, when I found some original art with signature that matched this one, I knew it was Reggie Byers in 89. So that's going a ways back, right?
Yeah, that's an old piece.
And so I found that he had an art studio page on the website. He had a website where he does an art studio. Contacted him, emailed him directly, and he said, and I sent him a picture. He's like, "Yep, that's mine." He said, "It's cool to see that." He hadn't seen it in forever. I said, "So was this an official DC piece? What did you do? Was it an audition?" Yeah. He said, "Nope." He said that was a convention sketch that he did, and all he did was the pencils, which of course, there's a lot of it in this one. It's very detailed.
Yeah.
And someone took it to another inker at the convention, Tim Quicksell,
the same,
and had him do the inks on it. And so here's the final product.
That's awesome, yeah.
So
did you mention which convention it was, or just that it was a convention?
He didn't remember. He just knew he signed it.
It was 31 years ago or something.
That's all he had on it. But he
couldn't remember for 31 years ago.
I know, right? So,
dude, that's awesome, man. I love that.
I sent him a message a minute ago on Instagram and told him that
he was going to show this
tonight. So I hope
you
got a chance to see it. So it's very, very cool. I love seeing the little outside the lines pencil work, like it got inked. It's really, really cool to see. So, all right, I got 3 more pieces. I lied.
All right, so I'll just show one more thing really quickly, and then you can show 3 in a row for the end here.
Okay.
If that works. All right, so I think I've probably shown this before at some point. I don't remember exactly when, but I got this Wonder Woman sketch. This is a Neil Adams Wonder Woman sketch that came framed. It was hanging up on the wall at Neil Adams's local comic shop in Burbank, California. So I was in LA I was in LA back in early February before the end of the world. I got to hang out with John's Comics with Kids. I got to hang out with Geeky Lindsay. So like that was a good trip because I got a lot of work done. But I also got to connect with some community members and do a little hunting and whatnot. So during one of my little hunting excursions, after some work meetings, I went over to Neil Adams's shop in Burbank. It's called Neil Adams Krusty Bunkers Comics, Toys, and Games.
My goodness.
Definitely a mouthful. He was not there, but his son was there. So I got to hang out with
Adams,
him.
I think, or something like that.
Yeah, I got to hang out with him and tell him some stories, talk to him a little bit about the other Neil art that I have. I don't have a ton. I have 3 pieces. But yeah, that was awesome. I got to hang out with the people in the shop there. The shop's really cool. I assume they're probably going through a tough time right now. But at the time, it seemed like a very, very cool place to hang out. And they had this whole separate area for like gaming and everything like that. But so Lasso was asking me what the dimensions is. I think it's like 8 by 11 or 8.5 by 11. It's not a large, like for context, this is a 11 by 17 comic cover, right?
Right.
And this is a small piece, small sketch. But they gave me a good deal on it, and they threw in a whole bunch of extras for me. Like they threw in a bunch of Neil Adams sketchbooks and stuff like that.
Cool.
Which was really cool. Wait, wasn't Neil Adams' son's name Pugs? He has
the different Adams.
Yeah, well, he actually has 2 sons, I believe.
He's making fun of the Adams family.
Right. But he was ironically, Neil was in New York at the time at his studio or whatever. But
2 ships passing in the night.
Yeah, I don't know where he's riding out the the pandemic. I assume probably California, because that would be a better place than here right now.
Probably.
But yeah, so this is a Neil Adams Wonder Woman sketch. So that's going to be my last piece for the night. And on to Bub for his final marathon round, his last few pieces.
All
Let's enjoy them.
Marathon round. We'll go quick, but we'll go detailed if you don't mind.
Yeah, go for it.
This next piece is by Bill Ward.
Oh.
It's original art. For those of you who don't know who Bill Ward is, he's a Golden Age artist. So this is an older piece.
That's awesome, dude. I don't have any art from Golden Age artists.
Well, he was a Golden Age artist, and he created a character named Torchy. Bill Ward was originally Private Marine Corps, and he was in the Army, actually. And I
take that before you continue. I take that back. I got that Shelley Moldoff that Brian Take the Time Collectibles AOK'd me. That's the only art I have by a Golden Age artist. But continue. Sorry about that.
You're good. And he so he developed this Torchy character, and then later. And of course, that would have been in the 40s. And then later, that was in, like, if you ever get an issue of Doll Man, there's some stories in there from Torchy. Doll Man Quarterly, he had some stories. And then it had its own title of Torchy, and that ran some in the 50s and the 60s even. And then he had he also did men's magazines. So if you've ever had like a men's magazine, there'll be some racy pictures in there, and there'll be like little corny kind of jokes, right? So that's what he did. He did a lot of that. And so this is from a men's magazine. It is printed somewhere. I don't know where. I can't find it. So that's one of those things. But this was verified by an auction house, so I know that it is legit because it's not signed. But it's Bill Ward, and it doesn't have a beautiful woman on it, and that's one of my favorite parts.
That's a surprise.
It's suggestive because it's something I wanted to be able to hang up too, because I could have got my hands on some of his original art where it's all like busty blondes breaking heels, but instead this is the suggestive matter of this is so perfect for me and my sensibilities. So it says 2 kids standing in tall grass looking through a window. And it says, so that's why he never has time to mow the grass. And they're looking through the window, and you're left to assume that they're watching the guy and his lady spending time. And that's why he doesn't have time to mow the grass. And they're standing there with all the grass around them overgrown. So I love it.
JP wanted sexy girls, but it is still funny.
And we got to coming up in the lightning round here. So I just think that's perfect. And
he's saving the best for last, guys.
Yeah. I keep this one up in my comic room. It's right behind the screen right here. So I look at it
nice.
today. I just love it. I think it's just a perfect little tongue-in-cheek representation of how you can have a suggestive, a seemingly innocent image, but with the right caption, it's perfect. It's like
cheeky. It's like a cheeky thing. Yeah.
Very cheeky.
Exactly.
I'm really torn between these two because I want to save the best for last, but I'll save the short story for the short story.
All right, yeah, don't worry about it. Show whatever you want, man.
Well, my feeling on these is that I've evolved a little, or what I consider to be evolved. I want to pick up some more original art like you have from comics.
Like published pages and stuff?
Like pages,
pages,
art pages.
Interior pages, yeah.
Yep. So I'm looking to pick up some of those, but I also have kind of tapped into my own brain a little bit. And I'm like, I have some great ideas for what I want to see drawn. I don't have any artistic talent, but I know what I want.
But commission ideas and stuff.
Right. Yeah. Commission ideas. So if I can find the artist who can do this for me, then it's perfect,
Yeah.
So you guys know I like Cave Woman, Bud Root.
Yeah.
Fantastic artist. I think the reason I got into his art was because Cave Woman reminded me of my wife. So I went to Charlotte Convention, Heroes Con, express reason to get a commission done by Bud Root. And I ended up with dealer passes, and I was there at his table before he was.
Whoa.
Waiting. And when he showed up, I was first in line, and I told him exactly what I wanted. And just so I wouldn't be mistaken, excuse my sexiness here, just so I wouldn't be mistaken, I made sure to show him exactly what I wanted. So my wife is a CPA, and she does taxes, of course. So I wanted Miriam, who's the lead character in Cave Woman, to be doing the taxes of Clyde. And people always say, that's a great drawing, but I couldn't draw a stick figure. Well, I did draw a stick figure. And so I gave this to Bud Root. And it says tax season because I wanted to name it, right? And it says Miriam, and it says Miriam Cooper CPA. So that's
guys, the bidding starts at $10 on this.
Yep. And Clyde is the gorilla in the series, and he's always he's a giant gorilla, like King Kong looking gorilla, and he's always looking back at the audience or whatever. And if you see, I wanted it to have deductions, and all the deductions say bananas. So she's doing his taxes, and it all says bananas. So it's pretty detailed. I wanted her at a desk, and if you noticed, I wanted to make sure that she had the proper assets.
Right.
As best as I could.
You made that abundantly clear.
Yes. There. So this is what I handed him. He absolutely fell in love with the idea. And that's a good sign because they'll do their best work when they really like the idea. Yeah. And that's part of the excitement is, man, can I give this guy something so great that he's going to want to work on it, Mm-hmm. And so this is what he did for me and my wife. And he got to meet
that looks like a serious frame right there. Yeah. That's awesome.
So there it says tax season. And he even put the CPA sign up there. And you can see Miriam Cooper sitting on the desk.
Damn.
And she's got her feet in the drawers. And Clyde's holding on at the bottom. And the gorilla face there. And sure enough, he even did the scroll with the taxes.
That says bananas.
It says bananas all over it. And he gave her a little jacket to wear, Mm-hmm. And it's a leopard print jacket.
Is that a retail frame or is that a professional?
It's a retail frame.
It's a retail.
Looks good though, doesn't it?
Looks good, yeah. Looks good.
Yeah.
It's just the all glass and everything. It's awesome. Yeah.
So there you go. I hope you can see that pretty clear. I know.
Yeah, no, we can see it. Yeah, it's great, dude.
So this is my pride and joy. This hangs up next to the treadmill. My wife absolutely loves it. And she was just blushing the whole time and to meet Bud and everything. And he had a big time with it. He was super happy to do it. Super sweet guy. And this is a picture that he said, well, let's hold ours up for the picture. So I held up my
cool, man.
I held up my version, and he held up his.
That's cool.
And, I gotta say, you guys be the judge who did it better.
I wonder.
So from my mind to his pen to the page.
Dude, yeah, I'm gonna have to. I mean, damn, I'm gonna have to ask you how much that ran you backstage when we're done. That's awesome, dude. That's great.
I'll have trouble remembering. I know that it was a little more than half what I had budgeted for it. So I was very.
That's not bad at all. Yeah, that's great. I mean, I don't know what you. Yeah, we could talk backstage, but that's awesome, dude.
I had no idea how much it was going to cost.
It came out great, though.
Yeah, it did. And again, when they like it, I think they do more when they like it. You know,
for sure.
Okay, this last piece, similarly, this guy's name is Dave Acosta. He is the interior artist and, in some cases, cover artist for the last Elvira series that Dynamite Entertainment did. So he did, and I loved that series. Just fantastic art, Dave Acosta. I told him, I messaged him on Facebook, and he said his commissions were open. I said, okay. I said, here's what I want, buddy. I said, I have a very specific thing in mind, and I want you to work on it. And if you've ever seen the sketch, which I don't know, can I share my screen? Or
yeah, you can share.
Hold on. Let me.
Should be able to, and I should be able to click on it. Once you do.
All right. I'm sure that you guys have seen this before. So this is. Let me share my tab here. Oh, hell.
Yeah, they don't make this super simple.
Okay. All right. Let me put image in new tab. Okay. Now we're ready. Share screen, share tab.
Yes. As soon as you share it, I should see it right here on my own.
All right. That's it.
Yeah. Oh, nice, dude.
So I sent this to Dave Acosta.
Yeah.
I told him, here's what I want, buddy. I said, and he said, wow, you really thought about this. I said, absolutely. I said, I want The Rocketeer by Dave Stevens walking with Betty Page, who is his big girlfriend, right? Throughout the thing, it's him and Betty. And I want him looking back at Bullet Girl, who is a Golden Age superhero. Now you can take that off if you want. And this is what he made me.
Oh, man.
And you guys see it at the end of my videos.
Oh, yeah, dude. That's so cool, man.
I don't know if you can see it because I can't.
Yeah, we can make it out. Don't apologize. You're
so
good.
That's what's going on there. And if you want to see it up closer, just watch my videos. It's at the end of all my videos.
That one's all matted and decked out, huh?
Oh, yeah. I spent the money to get this framed up.
Yeah, dude, that's fantastic.
And so you can just see that he did they're all perfect. And I told him, I said, man, do me a favor, and I want you to give the girls in this the va-va-voom treatment, He said, absolutely, I know exactly what to do. And I said, I know you do because I picked you because I think you have the best cleavage lines in all of comics right now. And he laughed and said, thank you. So this is what he made me. He did the inks for free. He did the backgrounds for free. And he only charged me for the pencils.
Wow.
And he did that because he was so in love with the idea that he wanted to see it finished. He just wanted to do it. He was like, I want to finish this. Give me a little bit more time and let me make it right. And let me just do this the way it deserves. I was like, absolutely. And that's what he came up with. So there you go. The details in the background. Yeah.
Dude, that was great, man. Scott Evans' great stuff. Thunderhouse Designs with the detail in the background. I hope he's so great. Yeah, dude. That's one of the coolest pieces I've seen on this show. I love the whole taking the meme thing and then applying it to what you're a fan of and have it all make sense also within the scope of the characters that you chose and everything. That's really good.
Yeah.
That's really good, man. All right. Well, we've reached past the hour mark, and we've seen your art. We've seen your artwork, dude. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing your art and the stories on how you got them and everything. Really, really cool stuff. I love those last two pieces, but some really cool stuff throughout, man. Anything you want to promote you got No Faces every Monday night, 7:00 Eastern. I know that. Anything else you want to promote?
I'm working so I'm busy all week. Busy all week. I'm producing a completely different show for other people on Wednesdays and Sundays. So I'm busy doing that, but that's not on my channel. And then on Thursday, I'm going to be filming a collaborative event with First Edition Comics, Paul, First Edition
cool.
Comics, for an artist spotlight. We're going to be working together on that. So I'm
nice.
excited about
Which
that.
artist?
He hasn't said.
Oh, you don't know yet. Oh, okay.
I know who it is.
Got
of course, he chose me for it because you have books. Because I have more than the books. Like I have
nice.
the extended works of this particular artist.
Awesome.
And so I'm really excited about it. The only thing I'm not excited about is how trashed my room's going to get. Pulling all that stuff out. I mean, I got to get stuff from work. I got stuff all over the place. So that's going to be interesting. And then, I'll just have a few more hauls, some more Golden Age books coming in, and maybe some more original art. So looking forward.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm looking for. I can't wait to see where you go next with the artwork, man. I'm looking forward to it. And I always enjoy watching your haul videos. It's a Bubs Comics haul video is a must watch haul video. Every time, it's not an overwhelming watch. It's like you're good at that. You got the nice lengths and everything. Unlike me, where I go, like 97 minutes, and it's like a short show.
Hey, sometimes. Hey, I want to thank you. I'm upset that I took so long to agree to be on the show.
Yeah, all the contract negotiations back and forth. And
I had to wait for the check to clear with everything going on. These uncertain times, I had to make sure the bank said it was A-okay. But I got on the show, and I thank you everyone for having me.
Dude, it was awesome to have you here. It was great hanging out. I know we've been on other YouTube things on your channel and other channels before, but I think this is the first time you've been on my channel. So thank you so much for being on, man. And you're one of my favorites in the community. So I feel happy that you finally came on my channel. So I appreciate that. And as far as this show is concerned, we're back next week, same time. Stray Flexen is going to be the guest. His collection I can't even begin to fathom what he's going to show.
Yeah, it's gonna
between his comic books and his art, he's got one of the most impressive collections.
He does, but he won't have better legs than me.
Oh no, he won't. Thank you guys so much in the chat. I can't believe how perfect that worked out. I mean, seriously.
Hold on, I dropped my pen. Nope, I got it. It's all good.
Oh man. So, but we got Stray Flexen. So come back next week, watch him. After that, we got Simon Comics. Then after that, we got JD. So we got some great guests lined up in the next 3 weeks for Original Art Hour. So I appreciate everybody tuning in and laughing at me and Bub this week, probably especially. So, all right, guys, I appreciate you so much. Have a great night, and we'll see you later. Bye.
Hey guys.